Victoria Adneni of the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory has allowed the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) to present two witnesses virtually in the trial of former Governor of the Central Bank, Godwin Emefiele. In a ruling on Friday, Justice Adneni granted EFCC's application in which it sought the court's permission to be allowed to field the witnesses who are currently abroad through video link. The EFCC is prosecuting Emefiele on a 6-count charge of unlawfully printing new naira notes, among others. After Friday's proceeding, counsel to the EFCC told the court that the two witnesses the prosecution planned to call next were based in the United States of America. He informed the court that his team encountered difficulties in bringing the witnesses to Nigeria and sought to file a motion to have the oral evidence of the witnesses taken via Zoom or other video platforms. Worried by the agony and pain by Nigerians occasioned by the fuel crisis, the Senate Committee on Petroleum Resources has vowed to investigate the turnaround maintenance project of the country's refineries. The new chairman of the Committee on Petroleum Resources Downstream, Kaus Maila, assured that there would be no more cover-up of wrongdoings in the Nigerian oil industry. Correspondent Kolojo reports that the senator who represents Kano's South Senatorial District, while addressing Senate correspondents and journalists, bemoaned the secrecy in Nigeria's oil industry and called for a change. He admitted that the agency is being run like a cabal as nobody knows what is going on, adding that there is need for Nigeria at least to know what is going on there.
First is to look into the contract awarded by previous administration and the current contract of fixing our 4 refineries. I am a member of that committee. We visited the refineries early this year, and there is promise from NNPC or from the refineries that from August or October we will start seeing results, more especially on Port Harcourt. According to them, and according to what we saw visibly, we don't know the technical part of it.
Senator Kawu said this committee would find possible solutions to the challenges confronting the nation's oil sector by collaborating with relevant stakeholders. He lamented the sufferings of Nigerians and blamed the federal government for it.
I know it is very difficult, it's challenging, but we are all human beings. As legislators, we will do everything possible, at least to see how we can alleviate the suffering of our constituents. First of all, we will study the situation, and we will get the information from relevant agencies to see what we can do.
Financial autonomy for local government administration in the country has continued to generate mixed feelings and reactions among Nigerians. A member of National Assembly representing Oyo North Senatorial District at the 10th Senate and Chairman Senate Committee on Aviation, Senator Fatai Buhari, has however called for prosecution of any local government chairman who is found wanting over misappropriation of funds. The lawmaker made this known on Friday while fielding questions from journalists in Ibadan. He stressed that it is not enough to just give financial autonomy to the 774 local government areas, but the Ministry of Finance must publish monies released to them monthly, while urging the anti-graft agencies to monitor the funds and go after anyone found culpable.
Graft agency should go around all the 36 states. Any local government chairman that is found wanting should. Luckily, they don't have any immunity. That is found wanting. They should prosecute him and send him to jail. It will serve as a deterrent to any other person. Even it will serve as a deterrent to the governor. It will embolden the chairman that I don't want to go to jail. I want to excel. I want to work. Fortunately for them, they don't have any immunity. Ministry of Finance, they've been doing it for during Okojo well at the tenor. They should publish what each local government is getting every month.
And now to other stories, House of Representatives have resolved to accelerate the consideration of bill on the introduction of independent candidacy by referring it to the Special Ad hoc Committee on Constitution Review. The private member bill was sponsored by Chairman House Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Honorable Akin Rotimi. Honorable Rotimi, while addressing House of Representatives press corps in Abuja, said the crucial legislation, which is a legacy bill from the previous assembly, was reintroduced for consideration following its first reading on Thursday, September 26, 2024. The bill provides that any citizen willing to contest National Assembly elections must obtain the verified signatures of at least 20% of registered voters from each of the local government areas in the respective senatorial district or federal constituency.
That this bill, comes before them, for them to show their support. But much more so from even members of the public, a lot of people have also indicated that this is something, is a step in the right direction. This is our we've had our seventh electoral cycle since the Fourth Republic, commencement of the Fourth Republic in 1999. And as we approach the eighth cycle, it's important for us to start to look at in what ways we can improve the electoral process, in what ways we can look at our democracy.
The founder and chief executive officer of Electa, Ibijoke Faborode, said the recommittal of the bill is a progressive milestone. He added that the bill will significantly change the future of the country's democracy if the bill is passed into law. She expressed enthusiasm at seeing the National Assembly unite in support of the bill, underscoring the dedication to a legislative agenda that promotes inclusivity.
That, the media as the conscience of society, will be quite instrumental in helping the public interpret the provisions of the bill to ensure that people do not misconstrue the provision. And as I mentioned, it's such a pivotal piece of legislation that will further enhance, and advance our democracy. So we're counting, on the media, as we said, as the soul of society, to help us, publicize this, ensure that, the citizens understand the bill, and the citizens also see it as the citizens' bill at this very crucial stage, in Nigeria's democracy.
The Federal Capital Territory, through its Public Health Department, has activated the Cholera Emergency Operations Center as part of the surveillance and preparedness measures to handle the cholera outbreak in the FCT. It said while activating the Cholera Emergency Operations Center, the Permanent Secretary of the FCT Health Services and the Environment Secretariat, Dr. Babagana Adam, emphasized that the activation was necessary in light of the number of reported cholera cases across the country. He noted that as an emerging city, the FCT is at risk of cholera and is taking proactive steps to prevent and contain the spread of the disease in the event of an outbreak. The Permanent Secretary also affirmed that the Secretariat would spare no resources to prevent a cholera outbreak in the FCT. He directed that all relevant stakeholders be involved in developing effective, reliable strategies to prevent the disease. As part of its ongoing efforts to transform the education sector, the federal government has reaffirmed its commitment to upgrading equipment and facilities in federal science and technical colleges nationwide. This was revealed by the Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Rahman, in Akwa Ibom State during the inaugural edition of the Technical and Vocational Education and Training Camp for female students from 29 FSTCs across the country. Correspondent Kuleojo reports that the minister, who highlighted that this initiative remains a crucial step towards improving vocational education and empowering the next generation of skilled workers, emphasized the essential role technical colleges play in providing students with practical skills. Now, moving on to other stories. You're still on to the news on Galaxy TV. Coming up next. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara approves payment of 85,000 naira as a new minimum wage for civil servants in the state. Details of that and more coming after the break. Do stay with us. We are glad to have you back. Now for more update and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with us on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Galaxy TV News. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Galaxy TV. Remember to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Galaxy TV. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comments, as you can easily scan our IG QR code. National Assembly have been advised to set up a committee to investigate revocation of lands by Minister of Federal Capital Territory Nyesom Wike. The call was made by concerned FCT residents at a World Press Conference held in Abuja on Friday. They urged the legislators to invite Nyesom Wike and other relevant officials and agencies in charge of land administration for questioning. They lamented that indigenous land have been revoked by the minister since its assumption in office and did not come with any compensation or relocation. They, however, warned the former governor of Rivers State to desist from continuous revocation of land without compensation or relocation. The indigents threatened to take over the street of FCT if nothing is done before the end of the year.
Before our youth and citizens of the FCT will go on the street shouting anti-Wike, we call on the National Assembly to create an investigation panel and invite both the Minister of the FCT, which is Nyesom Wike, the Director of Land Administration, the Director of AGs, and all relevant edits, even those that their property were revoked by Nyesom Wike, to come out and tell Nigeria what is the effort made for them to gain back their power. Are these people not Nigerians?
Corruption, mismanagement, and waste of resources. So to put it to record, this painfully, Wike is bringing down the roof of ages, that is AGIS, in order to perfect his individual control and dominance.
The Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru, has reiterated the federal government's determination to tackle banditry and insecurity in the country. The minister stated this when he paid a courtesy visit to Governor Uba Sani at the Sir Kashim Ibrahim Government House in Kaduna as part of his official tour to the Northwest Zone. The visit is aimed at finalizing preparations for the launch of Operation Ifansamiyama, a joint military theater command established to tackle insecurity in the region. Abubakar, while speaking to journalists shortly after the visit, emphasized the establishment of the Command and Control Center in the Northwest Zone as a crucial step in addressing the menace of banditry. In his remarks while welcoming the minister, Governor Sani stressed the need for regional collaboration to tackle insecurity. Sani expressed gratitude to the federal government for its commitment to addressing the multidimensional challenges of insecurity confronting the Northwest Zone.
Last week, you have seen the State Minister of Defense was there to also look at what is happening there, to gather recommendations and see how best we can tackle this. And I think a few weeks ago, you have seen our Chief of Defense Staff visit Niger and have meeting with the Nigerian government and to see how we can collaborate and end that movement.
Kudos to all those working for the setting up of this important security outfit in our zone. We understand and appreciate the need for a strong collaborative framework toward tackling challenges of insecurity.
In a demonstration of its corporate social responsibility, the Nigerian Navy ship NNS Pathfinder has distributed educational materials to primary schools in Rumo Lumeni Kingdom in Obio or local government area of Rivers State. Commander of NNS Pathfinder, Commodore Kajithan Aniako, emphasized the importance of education and the Navy's commitment to supporting the development of its host communities. The donation, which includes thousands of exercise books, white chalks, math set, and other educational tools, was presented to the pupils of Nigerian Navy Primary School Pathfinder Rumo Lumeni.
The TAS Sanity 4 was launched on 3rd October 2024. The essence of it is to sustain the fight for crude oil theft, dominate the waterways, and deny criminal elements for making use of the waterways. At the same time, it cannot do that without no kinetic approach to support the operation.
The commander of NNS Pathfinder also visited the palace of the paramount ruler of Rumo Lumeni, where he commended the community for their cooperation. The paramount ruler and students expressed gratitude to the NNS Pathfinder for their support to public schools in his kingdom.
We and the community have had very good relationship. That relationship, we are going to continue on that path and even better. So be rest assured that in intelligence and information gathering, we are always going to relay to you as at when due, whenever there is need. We are going to relate to you. So be rest assured on that.
I equally wish to thank the Commander, Nigerian Navy Pathfinder, Commodore C.M. Aniaka, for his continuous support to the school and his readiness always assist whenever issues concerning our school is brought to his table. Part of that assistance and support is the reason why the school is a beneficiary in today's property outreach. Thank you, sir.
100 flood victims displaced from their houses camped in parts of Makadi have now been given relief items to take care of their essential needs pending when they return to their homes as soon as the flood recedes. Benue State Emergency Management Agency, in collaboration with State Flood Response Team, carried out the distribution exercise at the NKST Primary School and other temporary camps located within the capital. Items distributed were bags of rice to each household, mattresses, mosquito nets and other essentials alongside the documentation of households, while other development partners were seen rehabilitating toilets and providing wash. The security of the place was not left out in providing protection for the displaced people in the camp. Officials of SEMA and others who spoke to newsmen bared their minds on the progress so far.
As you can see, the items which are being distributed is strictly for the 150 households that were captured electronically using Kobo 2 data collection tool, which we are using in all the locations in Benue here.
This time there was a proper planning, and like you can see the distribution going on. We have not even finished registration, but we have decided that, okay, people who are here, they have to eat, they have to sleep not on the floor, and mosquitoes, of course, are here. So distribution has begun with rice, mattresses, and mosquito nets. And like you know, for protection, cases are also on ground. For the protection team is also on ground to deal with protection issues. The wash team.
I really appreciate the God Almighty Allah that make this disbursement possible today. And I want to thank His Excellency, the President of this country, Mr. Ahmed Tinubu, under NEMA. And also I want to thank His Excellency, the Governor of Benue State, Father Alia, for this great intervention.
Still in Benue State, the State Environmental Sanitation Agency, BENSESA, has commenced the clearing of illegal dump sites within the state capital as part of efforts to make the state more clean, greener and healthy. General Manager of the Sanitation Agency, Jennifer Daniels, who led the exercise to one of the dump sites near River Benue in Makode, described it as an eyesore and unhealthy, which must be removed to prevent it from contaminating the river. The agency boss will thank the state governor for providing the resources to overhaul its machinery and retool the agency for effective sanitation exercise, says illegal dump constitute health hazard, stating that enforcement officers will be in place to deter the continuous dumping of waste. She, however, warned the public to beware as anyone caught will be sanctioned in line with the sanitation laws, as the residents applauded the effort of the new general manager.
We've had this dump site for over 6 years and government presence has not been felt here. So today we are here, I think, at the road to the old bridge. The illegal dump site was covering almost half of the lane. We had just a one-lane road. As you can see, this is an illegal dump site and people will not be allowed to dump here again. So enforcement is going to be mounted here.
Meanwhile, River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has approved the payment of 85,000 naira as a new minimum wage for civil servants in the employment of the River State government. This is the agreement reached during a closed-door meeting presided over by the governor and attended by representatives of organized labor under the auspices of the Joint Public Service Negotiation Council in the state at the Government House in Port Harcourt on Friday. Briefing newsmen after the closed-door meeting, the State Head of Service, Dr. George Nubiake, who spoke on behalf of the governor, said it has been approved and payment will start by November. Chairman of the Joint Public Service Negotiating Council and the Nigerian Labour Congress welcomed the gesture by the governor.
He has not just approved, he has pronounced a figure that is higher than the national minimum wage. He pronounced a sum of 85,000 naira, which is higher than the minimum wage that was prescribed nationally. So as the head of service and a major stakeholder.
Visited His Excellency this afternoon on just one meeting agenda, specifically on the new minimum wage, has been approved by the federal government of Nigeria. But when we appeared there, we know the kind of man we have as the governor of Rivers State. He's a man that loves his people. He's a man that has placed Rivers State first above every other interest. He's a man that grew through the rank and file of the system. He knows what salary is, and he has demonstrated this.
I want to speak on behalf of the workers of Rivers State. First of all, I want to commend His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Rivers State, our own number one worker in Rivers State. He has once again proven that the workers of Rivers State gave him an award on the May Day as the champion of labor, as the most friendly labor governor in Nigeria.
You're still on to the news on Galaxy TV. Let's go on a break. When we come back, the news continues. We are glad to have you back. Now moving on with the rest of the stories. River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has charged legal practitioners to be courageous despite the threat they face in discharge of their duties. Governor Fubara made the disclosure in Port Harcourt, the River State capital, during the opening of the 2024-25 legal year and rededication service at the Cathedral Church of St. Paul's Anglican Communion. According to the governor, the legal luminaries must not be deterred despite the threat and harassment they might face.
We know quite all right that a good number of you have been threatened by way of phone calls and even physical assault. We are also aware that some of you have also been threatened professionally. We are praying for in this country is institutional strength and not individual strength. Institutional strength is the only thing that will bring development in this country. If I'm a businessman, I'm coming into Nigeria to invest. Why will I invest? When what I'm seeing today, the institutions are weak and individuals are stronger than institutions.
Professor Khalid Tapwa Farautar, Adamawa Deputy Governor, has urged women to aspire for political positions to create positive change in the political arena of the country. Farautar made the appeal while addressing participants at the 28th Annual National Conference of National Association of Women in Colleges of Education in Yola, the state capital. She expressed optimism that women's collective action and collaboration could lead to tangible progress in the gender equality. Farautar mentioned that Governor Adamu Fintiri's administration had actively promoted gender inclusivity in governance, aiming to increase the representation of women in decision-making positions.
You can be sure that you have accountability. So let's not stop ourselves by just being in the classroom. Nigeria is waiting for great women that can make a change in the political arena, and you might be the person.
Quest for sustainable development in Nigeria is very apt, especially in the face of the current inflation and handful of social ills that are glorified seemingly as normal way of life. It is high time we began to reflect on our beliefs, principles and values that will ameliorate our interpretation.
It's very relevant, but one thing is missing out. You talk about politics, economy, and sustainability, but you didn't talk about education. I know it's deliberate because you can say it's political education.
A digital communication expert, Victor Adeleye, wants youth to leverage on information technology to build a generation of self-employed individuals and employers of labor. Adeleye, who made the call during an interaction with journalists in Abeokuta, maintained that the acquisition of latest skills in information and communication technology (ICT) was a needed tool for Nigerians to address the country's prevalent economic challenges, particularly unemployment. The digital communication expert pointed out that the digital summit coming up in Abeokuta was designed to provide platforms for innovation and enable creative individuals to learn, connect and interact. Also, the director of the Digital Summit, Shola Oteshile, said the event would attract key professionals in the digital industry, including business leaders, policymakers, investors, founders and technology experts for knowledge sharing and collaborations on strategies to drive digital innovation in the state, as well as enhancing national prosperity.
So we need more of our graduates to look at, okay, I can build a website for this thing. Okay, how about we start selling Adire online and people can buy from anywhere in the world? By the time we create companies like this, you need to hire people. You need to hire people that will sell it. You need to hire software engineers that will build it. So I think that when we innovate in the direction of what is already existing, we are going to actually build the economy.
We are determined in creating or providing platforms for innovative and creative individuals to learn, to connect, and to interact. And our goal, again, is to unveil the extraordinary startup scene in Ogun State, attracting investors to witness groundbreaking ventures.
A minor fire broke out at Federal Ministry of Works headquarters in Abuja on Friday around 11:30 a.m. The incident, according to some staff of the ministry who preferred anonymity, said it originated from a faulty circuit breaker in the electrical control room located on the ground floor. Confirming the incident, the ministry's Director of the Press and Public Relations, Mohammed Hamad, in a statement issued in Abuja, said the fire broke out from Block A of the ministry. The statement also quoted the ministry's station commander of the Federal Fire Service that his team responded promptly and managed to contain the fire using available extinguishers. He added that a successful evacuation exercise of staff members was also carried out. Also speaking, the Director of Human Resource Management, Alhaji Aliyu Abdullahi, confirmed that there were no injuries, casualties, or loss of important documents during the incident. He commended the staff for their conduct throughout the emergency. Normal activities are since resumed at the affected section of the Secretariat as at the time of this report. And to other stories, the Coalition of Northern Group CNG has emphasized the need for improved emergency response across the country in order to prevent needless loss of lives and properties of Nigerians. The coalition, in a statement issued and signed by its national coordinator, Comrade Jamilu Aliyu Sherenji, while reacting to the tragic tanker explosion in Jigawa State, which claimed over 150 lives and left many injured, consoled the government and people of Jigawa, particularly in Taura local government area where the disaster occurred. The CNG urged the federal and state government along with relevant authorities to take immediate measures to prevent future tragedies, highlighting the need to address infrastructural issues and ensure and enforce safety regulations in the transportation of hazardous materials. It called for improved road safety, healthcare, and emergency response system, emphasizing the importance of ensuring that every Nigerian feels secure and protected by the state. In preparation for the chairmanship and councillorship election across the 23 local government councils and 255 wards in Kaduna State scheduled for Saturday, October 19, the Kaduna State Security Council has announced a statewide restriction on movement from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. on election day. According to Samuel Aruwan, the overseeing commissioner for the Ministry of Internal Security and Home Affairs, the restriction aims to ensure the peaceful and orderly conduct of the polls. Aruwan urged citizens to avoid actions that could jeopardize public peace or interfere with the smooth running of the elections, adding the security agencies have been deployed to enforce the restriction and maintain compliance. Residents are encouraged to report any disturbances or threat to public order or to security agencies rather than taking matters into their own hands. Troops of 6th Brigade Nigerian Army have apprehended 3 individuals suspected to be collaborators of terrorist elements in Taraba State in northern area of the country. This information was contained in a statement by Acting Assistant Director, Army Public Relations Captain Olubodunde Oni on Friday in Jalingo. Oni said the operation, which was carried out with precision and intelligence, took place on October 15 at Landijesi village in Lao local government area in Taraba, based on action taken on intelligence report of some bandits in corner range of mountains which cut across Jalingo and Lao government. He said that troops of 6th Brigade conducted operations around the general area, which led to the arrest of 3 suspected collaborators, which names were withheld. He further said that during the investigation, one of the suspects confessed that his residence was used for weapon storage by the terrorists after operations. As the Ember month rolls by, the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LASMA, is amplifying its efforts to ensure seamless vehicular movement and safeguard public safety throughout the upcoming Christmas and New Year festivities in Lagos. During a strategic session convened at LASMA headquarters on Friday and chaired by the Special Advisor to the Governor on Transportation, Honorable Shola Giwa, LASMA officers were exhorted to adopt a forward-thinking approach in anticipation of the surge in vehicular traffic and illegal roadside trading. Both of these challenges have the potential to impede the unobstructed flow of traffic and human movement across the state. Honorable Giwan discussed the critical need for an integrated and robust response from last-mile personnel, acknowledging that the end of month are traditionally characterized by heightened road activity and increased congestion. The General Manager of LASMA, Olalekan Bakariuki, elaborated on some of key locations to be closely monitored, which includes Oyingbo, Ido, Itumota, Akmongbo, Mile 12, Kara, Mile 2, Lekki Ajah Expressway, among others. It further urged motorists to utilize the agency's toll-free hotline for swift assistance in the event of any traffic-related inconveniences. Now we move to the international desk for more news. This is news from the international scene. 7 people have been killed and 6 injured after a suicide bomber detonated an unidentified device at a cafe outside the police training school in Somalia's capital, Mogadishu. According to police, both officers and civilians were among the victims who had been drinking tea outside the General Kahiye Police Academy. The explosion occurred under trees where residents of the area spent time to rest, a police statement said. Al-Shabaab, the armed group linked to Al-Qaeda, claimed responsibility for the attack. The group frequently targets military and state institutions in its effort to overthrow Somalia's government, which has launched an ongoing offensive against it. In August, more than 30 people were killed in an attack on a public beach in Mogadishu, which led to protests against Al-Shabaab. The government has heavily relied on the support of foreign troops to stay in power. It has also joined forces with local armed groups to fight Al-Shabaab in a campaign supported by an African Union force and United States air raids. A baby has died after a boat carrying asylum seekers towards the United Kingdom sank in the English Channel off the coast of France, the authorities said. The local Coast Guard in France said on Friday the incident took place on Thursday night off the French town of Missant. The French Maritime Prefecture for the English Channel and the North Sea said 65 people were rescued and taken to the port at Boulogne-sur-Mer. Authorities said searches are ongoing to find any more missing people. An investigation has been launched by the Public Prosecutor's Office in Boulogne-sur-Mer. The latest sinking raises the death toll of migrants attempting to cross the channel this year to at least 52, the highest since 2018. In September, 6 children and 6 adults were killed, while a 2-year-old boy and 3 adults died after overloaded boats ran into difficulties during the journey a month later. The number of migrants arriving in boats to the UK averaged 53 this year, as opposed to 13 in 2020, according to government figures. Authorities in Pakistan's most populous province have ordered all education institutes shut as student-led protests grow after allegations of rape on a college campus. The Interior Department in Punjab province also banned gatherings on Friday and Saturday. The closure is expected to affect about 26 million children, in addition to adult learners in the eastern province. It was gathered that 380 people had been arrested over vandalism and arson during protests in the city the previous day, and investigations were ongoing. Police arrested a security guard who was identified in online posts but said no victim has come forward and they had always been able to verify the rape allegation. Protests broke out in the provincial capital Lahore last week after social media reports spread that a female student was raped in the basement of the Punjab College for Women campus. The protests have since spread to campuses across Lahore as well as the garrison city of Rawalpindi, where police fired tear gas and charged at the students who have accused the authorities of a cover-up. Still on the international scene, North Korea has started sending troops to fight with Russia in Ukraine. South Korea's spies agency has said has sole wonder of a grave security threat. The allegation comes a day after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said they believed 10,000 North Korean soldiers could join the war based on intelligence information. South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol called for a security meeting on Friday and said the international community must respond with all available means. According to the spy agency, 1,500 troops have already arrived in Russia, with anonymous sources telling South Korean media the final figure could be closer to 12,000. This comes as evidence mounts that North Korea is supplying Russia with ammunition, as recently demonstrated by the recovery of a missile in Ukraine's Poltava region. Moscow and Pyongyang have also been deepening their cooperation in recent months. Last week, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un greeted Russian President Vladimir Putin on his birthday, calling him his closest comrade. The United States has charged a former Indian intelligence officer for allegedly directing a fourth plot to assassinate American citizens who advocate for Khalistan, an independent Sikh state carved out of India. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York said on Thursday that it had registered murder for hire and money laundering charges against Vikesh Yadav for trying to kill Guru Patwan Singh Panun. The indictment of Yadav for the first time implicates the Indian government directly in the attempted assassination of a dissident. The Indian government said that it was cooperating with the U.S. ongoing investigation. It has not responded to the specific charges against Yadav yet. Earlier this year, Nikhil Gupta, an Indian national also charged in the case, was extradited to the U.S. from a prison in Prague. Washington has accused Indian agents of involvement in an assassination attempt upon Panam, a dual U.S.-Canadian citizen. India has labeled Panam a terrorist, though it denies the allegation, claiming to be an activist advocating for Khalistan. Lastly, on the international scene, Kenyan senators have voted to remove Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua from office despite his failure to testify at his impeachment trial after his lawyers said he had been taken to a hospital. In one of the most dramatic days in Kenya's recent political history, Gachagua has been due to appear in the Senate to defend himself a day after he had pleaded not guilty to 11 charges. However, Gachagua, popularly known as Riggy, did not show up and his lawyer requested a postponement, saying his client was suffering from chest pain and was being treated by doctors at the Karen Hospital. Senators chose to continue the trial without him, prompting the defense team to leave the chamber. The senators' refusal to delay proceedings until Saturday, as long as would have been legally allowed, shows the determination to oust Gachagua several months after he fell out with President William Ruto. Last week, an overwhelming majority of MPs in the National Assembly, the lower house of Parliament, voted to impeach him, setting the stage for his two-day trial in the Senate. And that's it from the international scene. Now we move to entertainment news.
Welcome to Entertainment News. My name is Riz Blossom Onwe. Here are the stories on the news desk today. It is raining congratulatory messages for Nollywood actress Mama No Network as she bags a chieftaincy title in Ijebuland. Taken to a page, the Yoruba actress who got remarried last year revealed that she was conferred with the Yeyewu Ojo of Ijebuland. Many flooded her comment section with congratulatory messages. Former Big Brother Naija housemate Queen Mercy Atang, known as Queen, has spoken about the current situation amidst the rumors of a crashed marriage. Recall that there was rumors surrounding Queen's marriage to King David. The mother of one allegedly yanked her photos of herself and her husband from her social media pages. There were also rumors of a pending rift between the duo, which the beautiful reality star refused to address. Sharing a post on her page, Queen spoke of her current situation as she ventures into acting. According to her, she has been experiencing a crazy week that has made her extremely tired. However, she's happy to showcase herself to other people. Veteran Nollywood actor Chiweta Lago has highlighted 7 key things he believes Nigerians should avoid amid the current economic crisis in Nigeria, laying particularly emphasis on pregnancy. In the post, Ago stressed the importance of making prudent choices during these tough times. He advised emphasizing the increasing difficulty of accessing healthcare amid economic instability. Humorously, Ago repeatedly listed pregnancy as a top thing to avoid. The actor's post received equally humorous comment from Instagram users who agreed with his list. The industry elder mentioned that, most importantly, men shouldn't impregnate women during this hard time. He also encouraged people to try as much as they can not to fall sick during this period. He advised Nigerians to drink plenty of water and eat good food if there is any available. The fifth on the actor's list advised Nigerians to avoid anything that would take them to a police station. He also highlighted the need to be prayerful and communicate with God. Finally, on entertainment news, Nollywood actress Iyabo Ojo has won the Best Dressed award at the premiere of Omoni Oboli's movie Wives on Strike. According to Omoni, Nigerian fashionista brought their creativity, A-game and intentionality. After careful evaluation, she announced that Iyabo won the female category of Best Dressed award with a prize of $1,000, which is equivalent to 1.6 million naira. The mother of 3 and grandmother of 1 described Iyabo as special and as a true icon of fashion. She noted that the Queen Mother, as Iyabo Ojo is fondly called, lit up Wives on Strike premiere with class. She also thanked Bulls Diamonds, Waneka Hair and Boche Mix for supporting the Best Dressed actor. She also thanked some brand for supporting the Best Dressed award category. On her part, Iyabo Ojo thanked Omoni for the award, adding that it would be humbling for her fans. Fans of the 46-year-old also hailed her fashion sense and stated that award was well deserved. And that'll be all on entertainment news. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Rose Blossom Moye. Bye for now.
Now, for more updates and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with thoughts on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Galaxy TV News. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Galaxy TV. Remember to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Galaxy TV.